Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watch Team is here with another tropical weather update. Got a little bit of a disturbance as issued here by the National Hurricane Center offshore the southeastern United States coast. A non-tropical area of low pressure is forecast to form near or just offshore the southeastern United States coast during the next couple of days. If the system remains offshore, the low could gradually develop some subtropical to tropical characteristics later this week, moving northeastward, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Over the next 48 hours, there's a 0% chance. Over the next 7 days, there is a 10% chance. We still have that system there. We're monitoring there in the Eastern Pacific. They're right off the coast of Mexico. We'll continue to update y'all on that. And as of right now, there are no systems in the Central Pacific. Looking at the models here, again, it will pop up right here off the southeast coast, and we are going to look through the models. We're going to talk a little bit about all the models, and I'll do some explaining of the reasoning behind some of this. So again, tries to develop really, really weak cluster thunderstorms there, but nothing really develops. Now again, we all like to go through all the way through the very end, but again, anything really past, 5 to 7 days, between 5 and 7 days, that's really as far as you could go out for reasonable predictions. Anything beyond that just gives you an idea of the direction of where we're going in terms of the motion of the atmosphere. There'll be much of a more lifting motion of the atmosphere, meaning there'll be a better chance for tropical cyclone activity towards the middle to the end of, really towards the middle of June. And that's something we're going to have to monitor as we closely get to that time period. If this continues, again, we'll continue to update y'all. This one right here tends to be better in terms of forecasting location, not very great with intensity. But again, it does have a, there it is, closed off low there. Majority of the rain, heavier rain, is off to a little bit east of the center of the storm. So this is going to be lopsided. It may still have a front. So that's what they're talking about. Could possibly have some characteristics, subtropical characteristics with this system. So it does. There's a low right there. Close off low there at 10-11 millibars off the North Carolina coast. And then it's out of here. Boom, it's done. European model, take a look at this here. Again, it does show something trying to develop. Again, it's going to be very, very undeveloped. It's not going to be it's not going to be a hurricane, all right? It might be between a 40 and 50 mile per hour tropical storm at most. I don't expect this to be anything super serious, just to start naming off storms off the list. Going off to the CMC, gotta go through all these models, look at all of them, talk about what we could see here. But all the models are showing something being relatively weak and undeveloped. Now, if it does this and it makes landfall, where the system makes landfall there, Georgia or southwestern South Carolina, there would be a better chance of it not becoming a much bigger deal. But if it kind of rides the coast up here, there's a better chance that it could become a little bit stronger. That's kind of what we're looking for. But there's going to be a lot of changes up until we really, get it. When we start seeing these forecast cones. Once we start seeing some forecast cones coming out, will really give us a better idea of where it's going to be and where it's going to go, how strong it's going to be. We'll have a lot more information on the system. But right now, it's just in the modeling. Also, we got that storm there in the East Pacific. Gotta pop this up right here. The GFS, talk a little bit about it. It's gonna take a little bit, but we are expecting something to possibly develop. And again, we do have this going on right here. Just a lot of rain over Central America, and sometimes they can spin up a system there in the Caribbean and go into the Gulf of Mexico. However, often when that happens, they are not well developed. This looks relatively well developed. There's possibly some wind shear pushing a lot of that convection off to the north and to the east. But generally, this looks decent. That looks a little bit too decent for June, which is why I'm thinking that's most likely not going to happen. Looks almost too decent for June. This is what we're looking at here. This gives you the better idea of what our chances are of seeing a system. So it does pop up a system much farther away from the coast versus what they were seeing here on the National Hurricane Center. This model shows it much farther away from the coast, but still something. Wouldn't be anything strong between, again, 40 and 50 miles an hour. Nothing super strong at all. Sea surface temperatures for the North Atlantic are starting to warm up. Either for all of the oceans. West Pacific is really getting warm. Here, if we take a look at the West Pacific, we can actually get a better clue of just how warm these sea surface temperatures are. They're definitely starting to get up there. If it wants to load, that'd be great. So as you can see, we're seeing between 30 and 32 degrees Celsius for the Western Pacific. So the waters are already there, very, very warm. So we'll continue to monitor any kind of systems in the West Pacific because we could see quite some strong systems there. Very, very hot sea surface temperatures there in the West Pac. Take a look there at the North Atlantic Ocean. Anything like the Caribbean? No, just perfect. Take a look at the temperatures in the North Atlantic. The Caribbean is relatively warm. The Gulf of Mexico is warm. The Western Gulf is quite a bit cooler than usual. It looks, or quite a bit cooler, between 26 and 28. But the entire Gulf of Mexico is at the temperature that it needs to be to maintain a tropical system. Off the coast of Cuba, very, very warm. Right here in the Caribbean, almost always is very, very warm. And right here in the main development region, right through here, very warm as well. Just to the north, right through here, it is a little bit cooler than usual. The waters will have to warm up from south to north. Once we get into August and September, July, August, September, it's going to be more than warm enough when we get into that hurricane season. Looking at the tropical cyclone heat potential, again in the Caribbean, or the Gulf of Mexico and the main development region. Not very high right now, as you can see, rather on the lower end. But the Caribbean is a very, very, the Caribbean Ocean has some decent TCHP for right now. We do expect this to go up, and we'll see this go up as we progress through the hurricane season. And then again, these are more of those sea surface temperatures, 28 degrees there. The majority of the entire Gulf of Mexico there at 28 degrees, but we do have a few spots here, 28, 29, 30 degrees. If we just take a look at the North Atlantic here, you can kind of see we have some stormy weather, but again, nothing really blowing up with a lot of activity right now. Not a lot going on. Just wanted to give that quick update there on the system there in the North Atlantic, as we are again in hurricane season, and we need to keep a watch out on any systems that do develop this year. Do you think this year we will see a little bit above average? Overall, it will be around average, just to slightly above average. Wanted to keep this video today very quick, very brief, but very simple. Talk about all the systems that we got going on there. Look at the models. We do have some storms coming up, and we will continue to talk about them as we continue to progress. Again, this has been the Hurricane Watching, your source for cyclone information. We'll continue to update on these storms and all storms. And as always, Stay safe out there, and peace out.